In Ohio Country today, brought to you in part by the following: Jaehnig Equipment, Allen Davis Insurance Agency, TRUPOINTE Cooperative, Brumbaugh Law, the Ohio Soybean Council, the Ohio Corn Growers, and Poet BioRefining. Welcome back to another edition of In Ohio Country today. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Gary Jackson. And we're here at beautiful Wilmington College in Wilmington, Ohio, Southwest Ohio to be exact. Gary, and tell us a little bit about today's episode here from Wilmington College.
It's all about the third annual food symposium, Dan, and this year Wilmington College tackles the question of food hunger and obesity, the paradox between the two, and I'm sure that the folks are going to be very interested in what they learned today.
Some great stories, some great interviews, plus your Jaehnig Care Minute. Alan Davis has your news and information, all that and more this week in Ohio Country today.
I'm Terry McClure, a fifth-generation soybean farmer. Farming can be tough, but we have the Ohio Soybean Council investing farmers' dollars to find new uses for soybeans. Their research helps develop better beans for livestock, poultry, and for people. It also helps create new products like soy-based cleaning supplies and paint cartridges. Plus, cleaner-burning soy biodiesel reduces our dependence on foreign oil. Soybeans are Ohio's #1 agricultural export. To learn more, visit soyohio.org.
Most of us struggle with protecting the nest egg we built. And when you're suddenly faced with providing long-term care for you or a loved one, you need someone now who you can trust to help you keep control of your home, your farm, and your assets. Protecting that nest egg is what we do best. We're Brumbaugh Law Firm. Call us today to schedule a free consultation anywhere, anytime. We'll come to your home, farm, or business to see if we can help. Brumbaugh Law Firm, using Ohio law to protect your assets.
Hello once again, everyone. On the campus of Wilmington College, we're visiting with Dr. Don Chafin, the professor in agriculture and the agribusiness division at Wilmington College. And Dr. Chafin, recently there has been so-called experts, they're always so-called experts, that say that a college degree, a degree in agriculture is not what it used to be. It's not necessary, in fact, is what they're saying.
To say that it's the worst place a student could spend their time getting an education has really stirred all the students around campus. And I suppose the answer that the students have come up with, do these guys expect 3 square meals every day and not know where they come from?
You know, Dr. Chafin, at the same time, I saw another list that said in the next decade, there was a list of the best jobs to have, and the #1 job was farmer. So I don't think those lists coincide, or at least the people weren't looking at each other when they came up with the list.
They definitely do. Some people do not know how to understand the facts or interpret them. And certainly with the boom that is in agriculture now, it's easy for people to say this is the most important. The challenge for us in the next 25 years is to be able to feed 2 billion more on top of the 7 billion that we have now. And that is not going to happen from manna. It's going to take work. It's going to take people who are prepared to do that.
In the United States, at the same time, all along, we're having fewer and fewer farmers involved in production agriculture.
That's true. And I think the statistics the one guy was reading is the fact that the number of farmers has been declining so significantly. Well, they do not understand the full agribusiness area and the integration of a whole series of things. There has to be outsiders that produce machinery for the farmers, that mine the minerals for the fertilizer, to produce the inputs that farmers have, because farmers are no longer out shoveling manure and growing clover in order to get the nutrients they need. And then the farmer completes a huge project with this huge machinery we have today. My reading is that farmers are running 1,000 to 2,000 acres per person when it used to be 40 acres and a mule. Well, things have changed. And now we have this technology that's taken the work out of it, and consequently, instead of 100 hours of hand methods growing corn in the past, and I'm not too far from when that happened, maybe back there as a young person, now we're down to maybe 2 hours that it takes. And so consequently, the number of hours required in agriculture to produce the commodities way down. But then that commodity has to be taken from the farm gate to where it is fork ready for the consumers. And that is a huge project. Lots of people say, hey, it should be simple and I should sell chickens to the consumer when they come to the market on Saturday. But there's not many chicken pluckers left out there, I would suggest. So there has to be somebody in this chain, and a whole series of them. It's grown in California where the weather is good. It's consumed in New York. The cattle's produced in Colorado under those conditions. That's nice, the cotton in the South. And something has to change it to be a shirt in wherever people are.
Dr. Chafin, another figure that is tossed around as something to be aware of, something to be afraid of, the age of the average farmer. I've seen anywhere from 57 to 65. But I can remember back when I was starting in this ballgame, back in the late 70s, I think the average age at that time was 59. So things really haven't changed that much.
Not at all. And people that are worrying about that are worrying about somebody stepping in to produce. I've got about a fourth of my students in class are from large farms going back to large farms. There's another half of them that would like to be in agriculture and in farming. But the investment today that's $2 or $5 or $10 or $20 million to get into it, they are excluded from being able to. Our students find related jobs in the industry of agriculture to do that, but there's a lot more people out there, students who would prefer to be farmers, who are not going to be able to get in it because there's just that small requirement of labor anymore. So the age factor makes no difference at all, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, as you can tell, anyone that has a class with Dr. Chafin, I'm sure, enjoys themselves and learns an awful lot. Dr. Chafin, if viewers right now, possibly parents or students themselves, would like a little more information about Wilmington College and the Ag program, what's the best way for them to find out more?
Call me, call somebody at the college. About our student numbers are growing. When I came, there were 36. We're now 150. We're going to 300. We're one of 2 colleges in Ohio that offer 4-year degree programs, being scattered out here in the cornfield in southwest Ohio, where instead of exhaust fumes, we're smelling springtime and an occasional hog barn. There's lots of students that want that kind of real-world education, hands-on. And we make effort and work at being hands-on and real world. We take our students out to the fields to get dirty, into the barns to get stinky, and there's a lot of people that want to go about education that way.
Well, for being in a cornfield, it's a beautiful campus here at Wilmington College. Dr. Chafin, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for being down, and we welcome you here and visit us often.
Very good. And stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
For more information about today's show or to suggest a topic, visit us on the web in ohiocountry.com. That's in ohiocountry.com.
It's deer season at Jaehnig Equipment. Take advantage of these great savings, featuring up to $350 off and no interest paid within 12 months on select series tractors. 4.9% for 48 months on Easy Track mowers. Ask about the perfectly practical utility tractor, the 5E Limited, $1,000 off or 0% financing. And the one everyone's talking about, the 4-passenger crossover utility vehicle, the new Gator 550 S4, 3.9% for 60 months. All this and more waiting for you today during deer season at Jaehnig Equipment.
Once again from the beautiful campus of Wilmington College, we're visiting right now with Meghan Otto. Meghan is project manager with Grow Food, Grow Hope. Meghan, can you tell us what that organization is all about?
Sure. We are a Wilmington College sponsored program. We are a community gardening initiative which really focuses on introducing small plot gardening to a lot of local families who are struggling to make ends meet. They may be on food assistance or struggling with unemployment. And all of our gardens are offered free of charge. We have 40 community garden plots on campus, and throughout the broader Wilmington community, we have close to 60 more plots in either a community setting or in people's own backyards. We're very focused on education, whether it's adults or within the schools. We also have school gardens, gardens at local retirement communities, in local parks, that sort of thing.
With the economy, as the economy has gone the last 2 or 3 years, have you had a lot more people wanting a plot?
Well, our program was born out of that issue. We are entering our 4th growing season, and the catalyst to forming the program was really the issue with the local economy.
Okay, well, now they actually grow their crops, their food from seeds in the very beginning. Do they get a little bit of assistance in helping with that?
Yes, through a partnership with the college and the local agriculture department, as well as generous donations from local growers. We start the gardens with the families. Sometimes we'll start with plugs or with seeds, and we provide education and mentors and volunteers help the families throughout the whole process to feel confident, and then also to build sustainability so that they can continue this after the first year.
I would suppose that some of the people involved growing the food have a chance to go back and visit with their neighbors, maybe who have never grown anything themselves, and from that little bit of education and know-how have been able to sort of propagate that to other directions.
Yes, we've heard stories of families that have been involved for up to 3 years who are really involved in their community, where they take the surplus of what they've grown and deliver it to neighbors and sometimes even strangers, and spread the word about the opportunities that there are with Grow Food, Grow Hope to help provide for their own families.
Now, since you've started this project here with Wilmington College, have you had any kind of questions or people from other areas calling and saying, how can we get this started in our area?
Yes, we've had a range of people contact us through either they've heard about our program through social networking like Facebook or Pinterest. We've also had alumni of the college who have heard about us through our monthly newsletter or through our campus's e-courier, and really hope to either tap on us for advice or have already started a community garden of their own and want to share their successes or their experiences.
Meghan, if viewers watching right now would have some questions or might want to get a little bit more involved in their areas, and I suppose you have maybe some answers for them, how can they best get in touch with you?
The best place to start would be with our website. It's www.growfoodgrowhope.com, and from there we have a wealth of resources, our applications for gardens this season, contact information for myself and the AmeriCorps Vistas that work with our program, and that's a great place to start.
Very good. Meghan Otto has been our guest. Meghan, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And stay with us. More to come right after this.
Who thinks more about the future than a farmer? You're deeply invested in prolonging the legacy you've inherited and built upon, because a farm is more than just another business. It's tightly tied to the family that runs it. Decisions you make today carry the weight of future generations. When you consult with others about your operation, look for strength and long-range commitment. Depend on Rural Community Insurance Services, committed to protecting American farmers for a long time to come.
This is Ken Jaehnig from the Jaehnig Care Minute, reminding you that if you need parts, service, or product support, or that new equipment, don't hesitate to call us at any one of our locations or visit us on the website at JaehnigEquipment.com.
Well, today we are in the Home and Workshop Products booth, and we have a variety of products that we're talking to customers about at the show. We're very excited to show some of our new products. We have a number of new hand tools that we're promoting. We're also showing our limited edition combine toolbox. We also have a variety of other products, pressure washers, generators, corn stoves. So just a variety of products we're excited to talk to customers about today. So,
you know, it's kind of interesting. You know, when you think of John Deere, you're always thinking about, you know, the combines and the tractors and, you know, the other types of those types of machinery. But you're really not aware of the diversity that John Deere provides, not only our farmers out there, but the general consumer.
That's right. We have a variety of products that appeal to any type of consumer. You don't necessarily need to own a large piece of John Deere equipment to participate and be a proud owner of one of our products. For example, you could be a high school student and own one of our nice John Deere truck boxes and put it in the back of your pickup trucks. We have a very good quality product that we put out there. Everything is tested. Our John Deere engineers have proven that these products deserve the John Deere name. So.
Excellent. So if you're looking for home or workshop products, always remember John Deere. Dana, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back with more In Ohio Country today, right after this.
Farming Fast Facts. Facts.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country today. With me I have Ron Becker, owner of Sediment Removal Solutions of Ohio Incorporated. One big thing that you made a big distinction about is obviously you can drain a pond and dredge it out, but the aftermath is not pretty, and I think you have a really good solution to that.
Yeah, we use scuba divers to go into the bottom of the pond, and we get the muck out. We remove that sediment, and it's either discharged, we call it an open discharge, onto a field or a wooded area. And this material is very organic in nature, and it's a big reason why you have algae and weed growth in ponds. You've got all this muck building up in there, and it's just the most rich organic material for growing things, which is not necessarily what you want in a pond. So we get that out of there down to the original bottom. Our divers can actually feel the original bottom, and we just remove all that sediment and discharge it on a field so it helps the fields if you're using it that way. Or the second method is we use a sediment container, which is a geotextile tube. They come in all sizes from 20 feet long to 100 feet long. And then it dewaters the muck, and then that can be removed at a later date as it dries.
Ron, if somebody wants more information, can you tell them where they can find out more specifics about your process and how to get a hold of you?
The best way is just to go to our website. It's mucksuckers.com.
For more information about today's show or to suggest a topic, visit us on the web in ohiocountry.com.
Hello once again, everybody. Visiting now with Rob Jaehnig. Rob is one of the leaders, and I'll ask you what your title is with C.I.F.T. Tell us what C.I.F.T. is all about.
Well, C.I.F.T. Is actually an acronym that stands for the Center for Innovative Food Technology, and I'm a program coordinator for them in Southwest Ohio. And we're based right here. Our offices are right on the campus of Wilmington College, and we're thrilled to be a part of the Food Symposium.
Now, you've been involved with Wilmington College for how long now as an organization?
Well, we officially got started about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years now, on an incubator project where we're working to put together that intermediate step between your farmers market growers to the point that you're actually distributing for restaurants, grocery stores, industrial distributors, and the such. The old days of the truck farming, have disappeared, and yet the demand for local foods has risen dramatically. And so how do we rebuild that infrastructure? And this incubator is kind of a proposal to do just that, to allow us to work with multiple farmers to fill the distributors' needs or the restaurants' needs. In fact, Sodexo is one of the ones that is looking to fill a major local foods need.
Now, how do you involve the student body here at Wilmington College with what C.I.F.T. is trying to do?
We actually involve the student body on multiple fronts. Right now, we have an intern, number one, from the college that's working on a functional food roadmap. These are foods with additional properties other than just simple nutritional value. For example, raspberries. Raspberries are high in antioxidants, which are great in fighting cancers and things of that nature. So she's working on that. We have the agronomy club, which is working on a vertical growing system project that we're doing locally, where we're introducing vertical growing projects and doing the research to figure out what the financial blueprint is to make this work for a business. So we have a local restaurant downtown called the General Denver that's going to be installing these. They want to grow herbs and peppers to supplement what they're bringing in, real local food, I mean grown right on site, to also adding some color to their patio area, which basically they converted an old parking lot. You know, so they are able to accomplish two things at the same time. To your retirement communities that are looking for gardening and growing opportunities for their seniors without them having to turn over a lot of dirt, get down on their hands and knees, but still be involved in the growing aspects. Two, then we also then work with the students on crops. They are growing crops out here on the campus just for research projects. We're working with a group right now, or a company by the name of Census. Census is out of Cincinnati. And they're doing antioxidant work, and they're doing color palette work. So they're working on developing a all-natural color palette. The FDA is looking at the possibility of completely banning artificial coloring. And if that's the case, you've got your Gatorades of the world that don't want to give up their color, so they have to go natural. So we're growing things like purple Peruvian corn, black carrots, deep red cabbage, and things of that nature to help build that color palette. Right now we're working with them on the reds, the blues, and the purples.
Well, this has far-reaching impact possibilities for farmers, enhancing that bottom line.
Oh, without a doubt. And the nice thing is some of these processes gives you a byproduct that's still usable, you know, as far as food additives, food ingredients, and things of that nature once you've extracted. Since this also then works with extracting flavors and aromas, you know, for the industry, you know, on top of that. It helps that foot of growing space, you know, maybe go from a nickel in value in what it's producing to maybe as much as $5 in value to what they're growing on that piece of property. But a lot of what C.I.F.T. does is those technical aspects. You know, how do we take what we already have in the state, the businesses, whether they're food processors to farmers, and help them grow and do even more with it in what they're doing, and take that next step on the technical advancement. It's kind of economic development through technology.
We've been visiting with Rob Jaehnig, and he is the project coordinator for C.I.F.T. in southwestern Ohio. Rob, thanks for being with us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
TRUPOINTE Cooperative would like to remind you that using propane offers a cleaner burning, more efficient, and lower cost fuel alternative. And that warm and fuzzy feeling you get from using propane gets even better when you choose TRUPOINTE. They've teamed up with other cooperatives to support the James Cancer Hospital at The Ohio State University. And with every propane delivery TRUPOINTE makes, $1 is donated to The Ohio State University for cancer research. With prepayments, lock-in programs, and the True Comfort Plus program, you can have a part in fueling the cure. Call TRUPOINTE today or check them out on the web at TRUPOINTE.com.
Hello once again, everyone. From Wilmington College, visiting now with Nick Huffman. Nick is a fourth-year senior in the Ag College here. And Nick, why go to Wilmington College for agriculture?
Well, why not go to Wilmington College? It's one of two undergraduate programs for agriculture in the state of Ohio. It's either here or the other ag school, as I like to say. You know, and here you get a private, small, hands-on experience. I mean, this is the kind of place where I can genuinely say that I have experienced all the things that we get to talk about. And with the average class size of 17, you know, really, it's no better place in Ohio than here.
What has been your the thrust of your study? Have you started out when you were a freshman and changed over the years?
I have actually. I started out in equine with horses, and then ended up changing to agriculture with a concentration in animal science, with a specific focus on organic and sustainable agriculture. That's really what I'm interested in.
Nick has not only studied here at Wilmington College, but you've studied abroad as well.
I have, yes. I studied at the University of Reading. It's actually the best agriculture school in the United Kingdom, and so they've got about 17,000 students roughly. We have an exchange program with them, and so I was lucky enough to go over there for about 2.5 months.
And what were you able to discern from studying over there?
Well, I learned quite a bit. I learned more than I could have imagined, but actually it was quite a different culture. They have, you know, much more focus on sustainable and organic agriculture. They have everything from fair trade vending machines to, you know, classes that we don't offer here being so small. So I really got an opportunity to experience a different culture and experience agriculture in a different society, which was quite neat for me.
Well, he traveled east and he also traveled west.
Yeah, about 11 time zones west out to Hawaii. I was on the island of Kauai, which is the last Hawaiian island in the chain, and I was working on a 60-acre sustainability resource center. It's called Common Ground, and they're actually one who provides food for a restaurant, and then they also provide food for the only CSA on the island of Kauai that accepts food stamps. So they have a full garden there. I helped install 16,000 square feet of garden space, and then we had about another 10,000 square feet on site.
Nick, if viewers are watching right now and would have an interest in agriculture or any other major that Wilmington College has to offer, what would you suggest they do?
Well, the first thing I'd say, check out the website. It's wilmingtoncollege.edu. And then, I would recommend coming and taking a tour and just checking out the possibilities. We offer lots of majors. We have everything from education to agriculture to an amazing athletic training department and everything in between. It's got a small private liberal arts college feel, but at the same time, you get an education that's outstanding. We are actually, quite a good school and I think probably one of the best in the area. But not only that, there's a sense of community here and a feeling that, you really belong. As I said, with a class size of 17 on average, it's almost like a high school, but with a collegiate atmosphere. So you get the education and the knowledge of college, but with being able to know your professors on a first-name basis, and I've got all their cell phone numbers. So yeah, check us out.
And you can tell that there's a reason that Nick is an ambassador here, not only for the Food Symposium, but for Wilmington College as well. Nick, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
American dollar, a bomb. There's nothing greater than the American dollar. Built the Empire State Building, built the Sears Tower. The dollar is still building the tallest buildings in the world. It just built one in Dubai. $250 billion a year for foreign oil will go a long way. I'm Steve Ross, part-time plant manager, full-time poet.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today from the beautiful campus of Wilmington College here in Wilmington, Ohio. Gary, we want to give a lot of thanks out to the folks that brought us down here today.
And especially Randy Sarvis, who helped coordinate a lot of the interviews for us today. And, of course, the great people, the hospitality that was shown. It's an excellent place to get your education and a beautiful place to see this time of the year.
No question about it. And if you want more information, you can always check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. That's inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.